Hi Year 6. So welcome to your art afternoon, day one of 2 days. We'll do some more tomorrow. And we are going to create a Georgian values inspired doodle art board. This board may become a board of four doors together. But we're going to focus today on the background, and we're going to do something called doodle art. Now it is doodling, but it's doodling with a theme. And I've tried to put together a pack for you on the document so you can really have a good range of what you could create for your doodle page. And we're going to work on A5 today, which is half of A4. If you are someone who works quite quickly, but also effectively, you can do 2 of these backgrounds, that is fine. And tomorrow we're going to go on to something a little bit different to do with the words of the Georgian values. But let me just talk you through the doodle work. Here's my document I'm just putting together. It's nearly finished. I just wanted to show you this one here. So this is a piece of work I did at my previous school. And I'm hoping you can just about see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 keywords there, all in different colours that stand on the doodle background. And then we have this, which is the background. This is what we're going to focus on today, and we'll do the letters tomorrow. So if you can just have a little look there, and I'll also put an image up in a moment of this. Can you see all of the detail within these doodles? And actually, can you see a school theme? So if you see this one here, can you see that one? It's quite thick. It's got a tree, and then it's got almost like a crossroads going behind it. That represented the cross of the church. And then in the roots of the tree, you've got some scissor handles. Behind the tree, you've got a football. And as you study it more, there's even a donut in there. You see that donut? As you study it more, you see more of the detail. It's not just, it is a doodle, but it's a considered, thoughtful doodle. There's more here too. There's even an egg in that one. You can see that egg. Hang on, my finger. The egg there. And then if we go down here, we've got a music theme and topic theme. So there's loads of things. There's quite a big music theme here. And there's quite a dark one there too with the cross. So there's lots of things you can do. And on this document, I have put together a range of images to help you. Here are some examples of doodle art. There's an art one there. So you've got lots of different styles of equipment and ideas you could do. And there's a lovely tree there. I think trees are quite important because the school is surrounded by such lovely land. Here is an example of another one here. Just if you look closely, can you see all the detail? So it's a doodle, but it's so considered, and the writing can be quite effective too. Lovely paintbrush there, some keywords. Since 1999, we could even put in when the school was created. That might be quite a nice thing to add in. This one as well is a music theme one, but again, really considered all aspects, all overlapping. And you can also say it's all black and white. We are going to work in black and white today. Here is a patterned doodle. And here is a topic themed one as well. So lots of options for you today. I've also put in to help you just some images that I've pulled off the school website, and I think they would be helpful for you to be inspired by. Lovely stained glass from the chapel, which I thought, again, could be a really lovely doodle if you just keep it black and white. And there's images of buildings. And the one thing I just need to do now is to add in some logos that I'll do at the bottom of this section. But I will print a few of these off for you to use. And obviously it'll all be online if you are at home. But this is the doodle work. So the first thing I need to do is to turn your A4 page into 2. I'll just turn my A4 page into 2. Now, we start off with A4, and then to make it A5, it doesn't actually go bigger, it goes smaller. So to make A5, you can just fold it in half, like this, and then just work on it, which is absolutely fine. You can cut these 2. I'm just going to work on mine just as it is. You will find that because we're doing such detailed work, it does take time to get a good piece of doodle work. So majority of you may just do an A5, and that's great. But if you do work fast or you want to do extra, you may end up making 2, which again, no problem at all. We've then got this side here, which we can, like I said, cut off or we can leave, but we can use that tomorrow. So if you want to keep everything together, almost fold it in half like a book, and then we'll do the top today, and then we'll do the underneath A5 page tomorrow. So the first thing to do is to work in pencil. You will need for this pencil, black pens, possibly rubbers. If you don't have a black pen, you can work in pencil or even black colouring pencil, but you'll need to press a little bit harder for it to stand out. They look most effective when you can really see the detail and see the work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some inspiration from the document I've created, and I'm going to start to sketch out a few key shapes and objects. I'm not going to do all of it because I'm going to do that, I'm going to doodle it basically, but I need my key shapes to get me started. So I have just drawn out just a range of key things really. I've got some hands here. I quite like these because I saw a picture of there's two girls walking through the forest, and I thought they looked quite happy with their hands out and stretched, so I've added that in. I've got the school crest, tie, some flowers because I feel like there's lots of flowers in the school grounds and I think it's good to show that. Rugby ball, as some of you know, I played rugby for quite a few years. Netball I play now. I've got the clock tower, which again I think is important to the school, the trees for the land, paintbrush because I'm arty, and I've got a sketch book here and some numbers because I like maths. So I've tailored mine towards what I would do in school, but it's also about me. So it'd be really good if you can do something similar and tailor your doodle with things that you've loved doing at St George's, because it is a kind of conclusion, it's a bit of a memory, and it'd be really good to see these all on display so future pupils can go, oh, well, I know what they enjoyed doing here, and it's really good to see that. You can work either landscape, you can also work portrait. There's no rule, but the one of the rules is you want to fill these up. So this is just my pencil outline. What is great about pencil is if I change my mind in a certain area, maybe I want to move this tree lower, for example, I want to put in some more things here. If you black pen it, you can then just rub out the pencil, which makes it a lot easier. If you're needing to work in pencil to do this, that is okay. But if you things out which you're working in pencil, it can make it a lot trickier. So I do recommend that you use a black pen for this if you can. You can use a felt tip pen. Fine liners are really good too because you get the lovely detail. You can use a black colouring pencil as well, but definitely black and white, and think lots of doodles, lots of patterns. I am now going to add in a range of doodles and patterns in stages, and I'll photograph it to show you, and then you can see the complete effect. I've got to this point where I've added in detail to everything I drew out, but it's still very white. So what I'm now going to do is I'm just going to have a bit of fun with this, add in a range of patterns and shapes, maybe some more darker areas, maybe some more shading, to make this really look like a big page of doodle art. So I've started to add in, I'm hoping you can see what I've been doing. So to make a doodle art kind of blend together, you want to extend the lines. So I've added in a very dark background here around the trees and added in some tree trunk-like effect squiggles. But can you see I brought the squiggles down and I brought them across the page to fill this space. With the clock tower here, I've added in extra lines, and I've also added in these curves to complement the curve of the seat that sits around it. As I get to this side, obviously this one is much more empty. I need to work on it. So you can do things like multiply things. So I think I'm going to add in quite a few more flowers to this kind of bottom section here. I might add in a few more hands, and then in between I will do some a different type of a style of pattern. You could even add in some more sports themed equipment as well. So to make it blend, extend lines would be my top tip, and do try and use thick and thin pen. You can colour in areas too if you like, but I wouldn't colour in too much because it can be a bit too harsh. But I'm hoping you're understanding how this is developing into a school doodle, basically. Okay, so here we go. So if I zoom in on this side now, I've added in lots of swirls and spirals to complement the flowers. I've multiplied the flowers, excuse me, I've added in a blazer, I've added in more hands, I've added in some arrow doodles, a few more sports balls, and then I've extended this straight line here. So you can see, from where we started to where we finished, it has become a school themed doodle. I could add a bit more, maybe into the white spaces or here, but I feel like it's finished. I feel like that is enough. I don't want to overdo it. So when you have finished, if you are in school, please put these into the plastic wallets that are in the trays for this project. If you are at school, please can you take a really good photograph of this, a zoomed in photograph where you capture the whole image, and please upload that to Teams so I can then copy that and print that off. That would be really helpful because I do need everyone's contributions, especially with tomorrow's lesson. Without the letters we're going to do tomorrow, we won't make up the keywords that we need. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy.